I might give him a home game, the last home game. Give me some shit. Yeah, you was easy, boy.
All right, guys, got Tyree and Bobby here. We'll open up for any questions.
Tyree, I think this is the most important question. Got to knock this out first. What's the difference in your playing style, headband versus no headband?
When I like, I pull it out like this, I just try to keep it on my face. The headband really keep it on my face too. It's like a little extra attribute though on my shooting. So I got no headband today though, but I might wear the headband on senior night though.
You think if the hairs kind of bounce around a little bit more, maybe you might get a few more calls?
I don't know. Yeah, me and the rest, we got to do a little talking. We got to do a little talking before next game.
Probably on, I guess, serious note. First career start, double. How did it feel to be out there and contribute in such a big way?
It was amazing experience. It's my first start, so I'm just happy I can contribute to the team and help them get this W.
For both of you guys, please give me a good answer and just. What did it mean to get back on the court, given Damari and having playing without him?
It felt good, bittersweet, because we miss him. But we talked to him, we've been talking to him ever since, he had got his surgery and everything. So, he told us, we don't win, he gonna do something to us. So I can't really say it, you know what I'm saying? But he keeps us in good spirits, just knowing, he's watching the game, we can do it for him, and so that's really about it.
Yeah, he was texting Rob during the halftime trying to coach me a little bit. So, he's at the crib just watching the game and he's there with us. So yeah.
Bobby, now you had your first start. Is the mindset, do you have to shoot more now, or do you
I would just say I get a little confidence boost because of the start for sure. But it's the same thing, you know what I'm saying? I just gotta keep doing the same things every night.
Ty, in terms of seeing another guard out on the court, what do you think about Lucas Taylor tonight and his performance getting back out there?
I loved it. He started beginning of the year, going into the middle of the season, he wasn't playing, but he kept coming to practice, kept playing hard, waited on his turn, and he came in with the confidence, made the right plays tonight, and I think he's gonna continue to do that, down the stretch.
Guys, given the constant conversation this time of year about postseason NCAA tournament, do you let that creep in terms of trying to improve your play and trying to get to that point, or is it just a one game at a time approach for you guys because what you're after and what you need to do to get there?
We take one game at a time. We never like to, think ahead, because we don't never want to just look down on opponents, because anybody, can win the league. Virginia just got beat, by Boston College. Florida State won today. NC State lost today, so anybody can win. So you just have to, come in every game with the right mindset and try to get the wins, and just keep trying to move forward and get to the postseason.
I know you're just one game in without Damari, but does the offense change at all without him, or is it still basically the same? I guess kind of what are the differences there, or are there?
We missed the shooting for sure. We definitely missed the shooting from him, because he can shoot it from a lot of places, that a lot of us can't, So we definitely missed the shooting and the activity out there, but Coach told us, one man down, another has to step up. So, we just have to, keep playing and, just keep that confidence up.
You guys held Notre Dame to just 58 points and under 40% from the field. What was going right defensively to be able to execute like that?
They came in at halftime. That's all I gotta say. They came in at halftime and chewed us out. And so, we had to pick it up, defensively. But just the will, the whole defense. I think, the past couple of games, we haven't had that will, the whole defense, and we've been letting, opponents, get easy shots, easy buckets and everything. So just have to start and finish.
I feel like when we play good defense, that leads to us just flowing in an offense, and we get better shots often. So when we just start on defense, it just comes to good things.
How did it feel to come back in front of a pretty loud home crowd after a tough week on the road? Just be back in front of Demon Deacon fans and get a win too.
You know, I love it. I love it. I feel like ever since my first game, you know, the crowds have been great.
Yeah, it gives the whole team like a little extra energy boost too. So yeah, it's we really need the fans. Yeah, for sure.
Just tonight wasn't a particularly great shooting night for the team. Shot 35.6% from the field. Actually shot better from behind the 3-point line than you guys did from the field, but still got 66 points on the board. How is it important for this team to still get points on the board when it's maybe not your best shooting night?
We feel like defense, you know, controls that because some games we feel like we let the defense control the outcome on the offensive end. So, you know, just knowing like that we weren't hitting shots, but we were still playing good defense, you know, that was probably the best part about that.
Irish kind of took an early lead and they hit their first 4 3-pointers, but then only hit 1 out of 16 the rest of the way. I'm just curious, did coach have something to say to you guys about getting out on shooters?
Yeah, he just said we got to go over the screens. That was really the only thing he said.
Said a lot more than that.
Yeah,
Hey, a lot more than that. You can't even say it in this, but it was a lot more than that. So,
hey, long story short, just go over the screens. That's all he said.
Anything else? All right, thank you guys.
thank y'all.
Appreciate y'all.
Thanks, fellas.
Yep, sure, appreciate it.
We'll start with an opening statement and coach is ready and then go for questions.
Yeah, the happiest person in the press conference is my sister behind you there because she flew in from Minneapolis, escaped 25 inches of snow, and we won because she knows if we hadn't, it'd be a really bitter night at my house. I said three things to the team when we came out to start the game. Play hard, man, for 40 minutes. Have a really next play mentality, good or bad, and have fun. It's been a little tough since the loss at NC State because, Damari is really important, not only to our team, but he's their teammate, he's their friend. And it was hard for them to see him have another season-ending injury. He had surgery this morning. It was very successful. Went in there and had to fix his patella, also had to clean up his meniscus. And he'll be out, 6 to 8 months. But we're going to be supportive of him. We're going to help him. The team's going to help him, and he's going to be better for it coming out of it. I know he doesn't see that today, but he will. I was very pleased the fact that we didn't play a great offense tonight, but we won the game because we guarded. I was very concerned coming in. I think they had played Virginia, NC, North Carolina, Duke in a row, very close games. They're a really good offensive team, one of the best, maybe the best three-point shooting team in the league, and they didn't make it 3 in the second half. I thought our guards did an unbelievable job of going over the ball screen and forcing them down into the tough two, into the drop. And we brought the big up to the free throw line to help. That was a good adjustment. And we made them shoot tough twos, and they didn't make them. And so we didn't shoot great. We shot 35%, but we won the basketball game. So that's the most encouraging thing I'll take from the game tonight is the fact that we didn't shoot. We didn't make 18, 15 threes. We did make 12, but we won the game. I thought Lucas Taylor gave us a good lift in the first half, and Bobby Clement getting a double-double. And I think his first start is very encouraging. Questions?
Steve, you talked about going over screens, and the Irish hit their first 4 3-pointers.
Yeah.
They only hit 1 out of 16 the rest of the way. Was there an intervention at that point?
No, I mean, 3 of those first 4 were in transition. They weren't in the half court. And that's where we've been having our problems. I think, are we a great defensive team? No. But we're not terrible in the half court. It's a lot of the problems are in transition and getting back and getting matched, which is discouraging. I thought 3 of their first 4 were in transition and not really in the half court offense. And so once we got them, and that's the one thing we talked about. We played the whole night against NC State, and our defense was never set because we were always behind the play in transition. Tonight, we got to get our defense set. We got our defense set. They had a hard time scoring. And so I think those came in transition, to be honest.
Steve, in the turnaround since you've got here, Davion's been a big part of that. He gets to play his last home game Tuesday. Yeah. Has he been kind of the guy that's been here the longest and has really been the part of the turnaround?
Yeah, I mean, the poor kid's played for me for 5 years. I mean, I've never had a player as a head coach play for me for 5 years. And so, I mean, he's a unique person because he's been a started some, not started some, never said a word. He's a 5th-year guy from Winston-Salem who's been with me forever. Has never, ever, 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 ever said a word. His mom has never said a word to me. In fact, Laquita, I was telling this story tonight, his mom, we played our very first game when he was a freshman at Georgia State. Good team. We were at East Tennessee State. He didn't play 1 second. And she was standing out by the bus after the game, and I'm like, oh, boy, here we go. She said, I guess you better start practicing harder. And I went, you're going to be all right. He's going to be all right, man. She didn't question me. She questioned the fact that he better practice better. And so fast forward to my last year, we got beat at home. We lost 1 home game to Mercer mid-January. I put him in the starting line. Back in the starting line, we won 12 in a row. He's never come out since. until this year because he's a team player. I don't think you can find a better kid than him. I've coached a lot of good ones, but with his character, man, he'll make somebody really happy someday here when he comes back to get a job when he's done playing. He'll be a really great representative. Whoever he decides to work for, maybe he starts his own business. It's up to him, but he's a special kid.
Coach, based on your comments about Damari just now, Davion, and kind of your actions on the court throughout the night, it seemed like this was a pretty emotional.
It was.
For you. And I was just wondering if you could talk about from a personal level, but also for a team, just all the adversity that you've been through the past week, what it means to come out and fight.
Oh, it was everything. And I felt like, I don't always believe that, I got to be all emotional and stuff for them to play well. Sometimes I think that's really overrated. But I felt like tonight they needed to feel the energy from me the whole time. And I tried. And then always, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But I felt like tonight they needed to feel it. And I needed to be about as positive as I could be. And that's hard for me sometimes, And so, like Cameron wasn't playing great, but he kept. What's not going to show up in the box with Cameron is how well he defended. Dan Goodwin was really he was playing really well coming into this game. He had 5 points. And Damari guarded him the last time, and Damari bothered him with his length. So I was a little worried about that. Cameron went over and over and over and over the ball screen every time. And then he got tough rebounds. And so I won't show up in the scoring, but he did some great things. He got a little frustrated, but sometimes you just got to play through that, and he needed a hug at that point. And he got one, and I think he played really well.
Coach, here's the time of year where it's really one game at a time type of mentality, but March looms on the horizon. How do you separate the one game at a time from what you're trying to get to next month?
I think what we try to do right now is play for seeding. You know what I mean? Like it's a really important game on Tuesday against Boston College. I'm not good at the bracketology of the ACC tournament, but I know it's important for us to win so we don't have to play on Tuesday. And that's what I've been telling them. You kind of got to take it in steps, right? And what we're trying to do is get the best seed we can get to get in the ACC tournament, and then we got to win it. And we're trying to win 20. We're trying to do that too. We got 18 wins, 25 last year. We're building and we're stringing these wins together. But I think you just kind of taking one at a time, and you got to have a short memory. I mean, because if you get too high or too low, you get beat. And it happened in our league today. And so the next thing is Boston College. You get a day off. You get to go to Syracuse on Saturday, and that's it. And then it's time to play in the tournament.
Does you go anywhere beyond the ACC? You have to win it, but do you feel like that's not the be all and end all if you want to go beyond that?
I think I like to be honest. And so I think that we have to all be honest with ourselves in the room that we have to win the tournament to go to the NCAA tournament. And that is the ultimate prize. And that's what we obviously want to get to. That's where our fans want us to get to. That's where I want to get to. But I think we have to be honest that we're going to have to win it. We had plenty of opportunities. We just didn't get it done. And I know I've railed about the net. I'm done railing about the net. Everybody gets it. I'm not real pleased with it. But that's not why we're not going to be in the tournament. So we need to win it. And if we don't, then we hope that, we get invited to the NIT. I think you have to be honest with them and not try to paint a picture that's not true.
Anything else?
What did you get Coach Brey as a goodbye?
I give him a hug. We talked about it, what we're going to do when the season's over. Again, we share the same birthday. I will say this about Mike before I go. I think younger coaches should aspire to be like him. He's a fierce competitor. He's coached some unbelievable teams, but he's a really good person. And he's great at relationships. I've tried really hard in my career to be great at relationships, build relationships, and pump people up. And Mike's one of those guys I think young coaches should go hang out with and understand that you can still be competitive and tough, and you can be a good guy, and you can help other people and other coaches. And he's been very helpful to me since I've gotten the job. He's always been very positive. And we've had some really good conversations. And so I hope he's not done. You know, I know his 10 years done at Notre Dame, but maybe he'll coach again. I mean, he's not completely over the hill yet. And so I'm hopeful that he stays in the game because I think he's good for our game and he's really smart. And so I value my relationship with him and I look forward to it to continue.
Is that all? Okay,
All right.
thanks, guys.
Thank you. All right. I'm tired.